even back when I was waiting tables, that's some of my favorite memories that pop up on my Facebook when I was waiting tables, cutting grass, washing cars, pumping gas into airplanes, like doing all this stuff at the same exact time, like working all around the clock to make a dollar and trying to find my way.
I'm here with JP from Down4Sound on this version of Behind the Dashboard. How you doing today, JP?
Doing awesome. And it's okay. You can call me JP or Jonathan, either one. I've definitely been called worse over my years.
Well, I guess that's about right. I wanted to bring you on to kind of get a little bit more feeling about, you're very active on social media.
Yes, sir.
You're very active on Facebook. And, now gone from, I was looking at one, like I saw a video of you and it was beer and boobs in 2013.
Uh-huh.
I think going back a long ways. And now here you are doing cold plunges. It just seems like quite a different idea now you're throwing out there on social media.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, I think of a person like I have, like if you're growing and striving to become better, like
Hmm.
you're always, I mean, everybody goes through their young and dumb years. Some people stay in
Yeah.
those years forever, but like I always wanted to become better. And of course people like
Hmm.
do stuff like I said, young and dumb, and then you grow into something better. And that's what I've been trying to do, is pay more attention to my family, finances, health, everything like that, and just become the best friend I can be, the best dad I can be, the best husband I can be, son I can be, everything like that. So just evolving that over time with proven structure. Becoming something great requires a lot of structure and discipline, and is the days that you don't want to do it, you like just 2 days ago, like I literally sat on the edge of my cold plunge for like some minutes, like because I did not want to do it. I'm like, this is what makes me different, is I have to do this. Like, even though I was fighting myself and I didn't want to do it that morning, I'm like, this is where most people quit, and they quit doing it. Or like if you want to apply that in business, it gets to a hard spot, they just quit. But so I'm like, so I got in like and did my thing, and 4 minutes later or whatever, it was all behind me. And that's kind of how it is with a bunch of things in life. You just have to do the hard things that a lot of people don't want to do. So anyway, I wasn't always this way. It just kind of, I just started implementing little things here and there over the years. And a lot of, well, some of them stick, some of them don't. But the majority definitely made some progress there. So
But that's also maybe what's called a secret to your success. Okay. And please, I'm not here to be a fanboy, but what I like is that I always see you going forward. And
yes, sir.
so many other people or companies in life don't move. And I was looking even at your profile, like it doesn't say, you actually see it, you're striving to be better, you're trying to do things better. And I
Right.
think that's something all of us could do, to be honest with you. And let's face it, a lot of car audio people are over 25. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
And that's what I find interesting. Like I was talking to you in that kind of the pre-show about, obviously you make a few amplifiers, right? And what I noticed is you are not making just, hey, here's a 5,000 watt amplifier. Here you go.
In black.
You're in black. Yeah, in black. Yeah, yeah.
It's like Henry Ford back in the day. You can have any color you want to as long as it's black.
But you also sell the accessories. And so that's what I find, like, I believe it was called a JP40 battery, which I thought was very interesting. And the fact that that matches cosmetics of the amplifier shows that you're not just making things to make things. You're making a logical progression of, hey, how do I want to look? How do I want to match? And that's what I wanted to kind of get your ideas on.
Yeah, I mean, that is the idea, is to like we were talking about the little people, some people call them trinkets or whatever, but
Yeah.
just making them the when I first started making products, I kept, I mean, I still get suggestions a lot, and that's another thing that is a key to our success, is
Hmm.
listening to our fan
Hmm.
base and customers and stuff, like, oh, I wish you made this. And of course people will randomly say things they wish that I would make. And if I only hear one or two people saying it, obviously it doesn't make sense to do that. There's not a large demand for it. But if I keep hearing some hundreds of people say, "Oh, you should make a 2,000 watt amp." Okay, we came with a JP23, and we've literally sold now over 20,000 of those things. Just the one JP23, like, a series of amps. So it's that's listening to the fans and stuff. And obviously after you bring out that one, they're like, "Oh, I wish you had a 4 channel to match it or something to go with it or whatever." So that's how it turned into us offering that amp first to
Hmm.
I think we're approaching, like, with the different color combinations and stuff, like over 300 different amplifiers. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. But um, us people, a lot of people want their stuff to match, and in
Mhm.
two different ways. They want all their, say, their RCA distribution block, their DSP, their RCAs, the batteries, the amplifiers, the speakers. They all want it to be one brand. So people started asking more about that. Like, "Hey, can you make all these different things?" So, because I want to have a full Down4Sound system. So, yes, okay, we'll do that. And the other thing that people want is they want a color to match their build. And this is huge because everybody goes with black because it's easy and they know that
Mhm.
black usually goes with anything. So, is taking the easy way out. But if you, like, I've done like a poll before. If you had, say, two different amplifiers from two different companies, they're exact same price and the exact same power output, whatever, and one of them, like, you have a red car, red seats, red accents, red everything, and one of them only has black, but the other one has black and red, which one are you going to go with? Red, of course. Everything else is accented red in your vehicle. Why would you not get something
Mhm.
different like red? Like, because everybody has black amplifiers. You want to do you're
Mm.
accenting and customizing your car because you want it to be a reflection of you and your taste, and like it's an expression of yourself. So why would you just get a black amplifier over a red one that matches your entire build theme that you have going on? So anyway, that's been a big thing that we've had, that has grown it, like the color combinations, and obviously going with the heat sinks and like the same type of look. Like our DSPs, they look like the
Mhm.
easy RCA distribution blocks. Those look like the amplifiers and stuff like that. So it's those are just a couple of the things that set us apart from all the other people doing the same exact thing over and over.
Well, and it must be an investment on your part too to have pink, purple, camo. I mean, to invest in even having those heat sinks. I mean, I think we'll agree the boards are the same, the guts are the same, but the outside is different. But that must
Yeah,
be a big investment, even for tooling for yourself to make, which just use a DSP. It's not a square black box.
right.
I mean that's pretty well the MO now for everyone, right?
It is, and it definitely is an insane investment on the on doing stuff like this, and I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why nobody else does it, because
Mm.
it I mean, there's definitely companies out there that could like Kicker, Rockford, like
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh yeah.
like they have the funds to do that, but people in our more bass head niche
Yeah.
is um it's like you can see a lot of I don't know, tomfoolery with numbers and stuff, with from revenue and like people saying they're selling stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know, the more you know about the backside, the more you know how much people are lying. But anyway, I try my hardest to stay in my own lane and just stay focused and keep doing my own thing. And that's been one of the, yes, I'll pick the scab off of the trolls every now and then and get them riled up. But that in itself is strategic for me. Like I know how
Mhm.
to make people um go to work, especially the haters. Like I can make them go to work overtime for absolutely free. And this has been something I've done for years. And I've literally posted about it like numerous times. I'll post, say, on Wednesday, "Watch what I tell you. this weekend, everybody in the bass head of car audio niche will be talking about me. And on Friday, I'll drop something, and then next thing you know, everybody blah 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 talking about me and Down4Sound. And I'm like, it's so easy. But I tried, like, I don't do it all the time anymore. I'm trying to become a little bit better
Yeah.
at that as well. But
Yeah.
it's a fine balancing act to navigate, because I know the results of it. And but anyway, and people like rivalry and like all these
Oh
things.
yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I enjoy a lot of peace these days. So
But
anyway,
that leading into like you had well, you still do, so I don't want to say, but you had a very large social presence with, in the shows, let's call it, and you work very hard. I was admit, I was checking out today, and I couldn't believe it. Like, you're 200 million views. That's, especially because it's a crowded space, YouTube right now.
yeah,
3,024 videos. That's
yeah,
commitment. All right.
yeah,
Like, and I did notice, and to grow up in that, and I'm gonna use the term grow up in that space, because I mean, like you said, you're not the same person you are now as you were, let's say, 15 years ago. And
right.
so you must have had to, as you were saying, adapt and navigate to use social media to your advantage, but also spread your story.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, I mean, obviously, and that's something that rubs some people the wrong way. I actually posted yesterday, everybody might not like me, but everybody doesn't matter either. So it's me, like, I've always been transparent about my journey, and it seems like the saying, everybody wants to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them, is every day I'm reminded of, like, how true that is. But I mean, I made a post about this too, but I'm like, I'm starting to believe that people don't want others to do well at all. Like, it doesn't matter if they're doing less than a person. Like,
Mhm.
it's I don't know. It's so crazy how people are reacting to things. But I've always, like I said, been transparent. Even back when I was waiting tables, that's some of my favorite memories that pop up on my Facebook, when I was waiting tables, cutting grass, washing cars, pumping gas into airplanes, like doing all this stuff at the same exact time, like working all around the clock to make a dollar and trying to find my way. But seeing those memories pop up is what keeps me, is one of the things that what is helps keep me grounded and humbled and appreciative of where I am today. Because it obviously wasn't always like this. Like, I come from a really small town in Mississippi, so it would have been easy for me to have stayed there and worked a normal job and not done anything great or big or whatever. But um, anyway, I've always been transparent about this story, from when I was doing that to when I made my first, what I thought was a big stocking order of $5,000, and then that grew to $50,000, $500,000, and like it's millions of dollars now. And but I just keep doing the same thing. But it seems like the bigger the numbers get, when you share it, it brings out the some I will just say, brings out some haters. Like, they're like, "Oh, you're bragging." I'm like, "Bro, I've done the same exact thing since day one. I've always shared this. You're just seeing it as bragging, because I'm not talking about a $10,000 order. I'm talking about a $2 million order or something like that. You just
Yeah.
so many things about me are is it's all in how the lens a person chooses to view me through. Because one person can see something that I post as inspirational and motivational, and the next person can see it as bragging, or like, I can't stand you because you're bragging. Like, or I'm like, bro, like, the mindset. And that's why a lot of the people are where they are, because they let it, like, the mindset handicap them. But anyway, just always been transparent, and I'll continue to do so. Just because the people that are motivated and inspired, that group is definitely way bigger than the people that say, like, "Oh, you're bragging," or like whatever. So I'll just keep doing my thing, and I just tell people to block me. Like, "Hey, if you don't like what I'm posting, like, just block me." Like, but they, for some reason, they can't ever bring themselves to do that. They,
JP, I have a question to change the tone a little bit. Of what color does not sell of all your amplifiers? Which one's the least positive, and which one's the positive?
It would be orange is one of the lesser sellers, and the better seller is black and purple.
Oh, the kind of hot, kind of the hot purple.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about customizing a vehicle, for a lot of people, a car is one of the biggest investments of their life at this point in their life. You
Hmm.
know, they might not own a home or something like that yet. And you really struck a chord on color and customization. You obviously think that's very important. Else you wouldn't, which to say you would over white, black, and purple. Like what, having, like you said, orange, but obviously, and even camo. I mean, I've never seen someone make a camo amplifier before, but
Yeah.
like, but what's funny about that now I thought about is that camo is outselling orange.
Yeah. I mean, camo is very popular. We just started it'd probably be um purple, red, blue, camo, and it also camo's up there for sure. I mean, the thing is, like, you have to think of, like, I started my following or my journey in Mississippi,
Yeah,
so it's the southern state, and I was going around to all the shows when I was driving to all these shows. I mean, I was hitting Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, like all these places that are more southernly. So there's a large hunting population there. Like, so camo is a big deal. So it's definitely a hot seller for that reason.
but also you recognize that.
Hmm.
That's like, that's what's kind of I'm not gonna. I'll use Pioneer because it's a great example. They're a worldwide company, and they're
Yep.
never going to make a camo amplifier for a certain area of the United States, and that would be a total. I don't want to say demograph. Help me out here. Population that's not being serviced, and so
Yeah.
that's good on you. I think on that one.
Yeah. I mean, and I always try to see things from everybody's point of view, and I think on theirs, they're on such a probably multi-billion-dollar scale that they're
Yeah.
like, it's not worth us going after this couple $1,000,000 in possible camo amp sales or whatever. Like, I don't know. I would think that's probably what it is. We'll just that you find a blueprint that works for you and you just stick with it and scale it out from there. And that's, I mean, they've been doing it for 100 years. So why, and it's worked really well for them.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
why change it? I mean, they've probably, I'm sure they've tried a lot of things over the years, and if it just doesn't net them enough into the positive for the effort it required, then they just do away with it and keep always doing what they always have done that's netted them the
Mhm.
biggest wins. So, but for
So
me, obviously, me being on a lot smaller scale than that, like, I see that and I'm like, oh, that would be good to be able to capture that area and push it
mhm.
out when nobody else is doing that. So it's like we definitely move a lot of the camos. We've been constantly increasing the quantities of amplifiers since we started that. I did like a I don't know what the MOQ was for these amps, but I did like whatever. Oh, sorry, minimum order quantity for
Yeah, it's all
people
good.
that don't
It's all
know.
good. Yeah.
So I'd say I did 100 or whatever, and then like the next time I did 150, then 200, 250, and
Mm.
we just got our 234s in yesterday in camo, and I think we did 300 or 350 this time. So just constantly ramping it up to try to meet the demand, and but you don't want to. The problem with people will be like, "Oh, why didn't you order 3,000 of them?" Like, well, you have a million different other colors, and it also ties up a lot of capital into one
Yes.
specific thing.
Yeah.
So, and again, like, this is why other companies don't do this, is because it requires a ton of capital to do this. And uh, I haven't done any outside loans. Like, I've always done this on my own from
Mm.
earning my first $5,000 and saving it, investing it into my first stocking order, and I've been flipping that into my business over and over and over since day one. And I've again not taken out any business loans or anything like that. So it's a not many people can say that, and it's not for everybody, and I get it. Again, I always try to see things from other people's point
Yeah.
of view. Some people are great at using other people's money, and but I guess maybe the small town guy in me, and also my dad saying, don't ever buy anything you can't pay for, or stuff like that. Like, learned some stuff from him that that
Yeah.
was good at the time. It's I've changed some of the things over time,
Yeah.
but anyway, it requires, obviously, if you're gonna do, if a company's gonna do, say, one 5,000 watt amp or whatever, and it would say to do that, I'll just use a just totally random number, to
Mhm.
do 100 of them. It costs, it's going to take $100,000. If you, but then you do 10 colors of them, that $100,000 5,000 watt amp turns into $1 million for
Yeah. Yeah.
one style of amplifier, one size of amplifier. And well, now we're starting to add pink to the color options. It won't be something we order heavy, but
Yeah.
I know there's like women out there that want pink stuff, or some men, whatever. It's been requested a decent amount, so we'll just do minimums on that. But again, it's just another color that we're adding to it. But it just shows how, if something, like, to start a car audio company, car audio amp company with one color was like $1 million, but you wanted to turn that into 10 different colors of 10 different
Mhm.
amps or whatever, is $10 million. So it's an insane amount of capital required to, like, to do this. So but again, I've always, like, one thing that my dad taught me was, like, save money for a rainy day. And
Yeah.
I've always put money back, and I've lived, another one of my, uh people ask me for advice all the time, like, if you had something to change, or what, like, what could you tell people to help them.
Yeah.
And mine is always live like 2 to 3 years behind your financial level ups, because anything can happen. But if you live behind your
Mm.
financial level ups, most people, every time they get a raise, they just instantly go and increase their spending to match it. And if
Yeah.
you think I'm lying, think back to your very first job where you're making $100 a week. Okay. Well, what was the person saying at that time? Probably the same thing I was. If I could just make more money, it would cure
Yeah.
all of my problems. So over time, that person made $200 a week. What changed? Nothing. They still, I just need to make more money. It'll fix my problems. They made $500 a week. I just need to make more money. It'll fix my problems. Still same problems. They make $1,000 a week. Doesn't matter if they make $10,000 a week, $100,000 a week. They're gonna find a way to spend it, because they're not fixing the root cause of the problem. And that's them. No matter what, they're always going to spend whatever they're making. And it's proven by them making $100 a week, spending it all, a thousand
Mhm.
dollars a week, they're spending it all. There's no difference. It's a broken way of managing your finances, I guess. But my dad always taught me to save, and I did. And that's what's enabled me to be able to take advantage of all these different ideas that I've had over time, is like just living 2 to 3 years, sometimes 5 years behind my financial level ups, and having that capital to be able to
Mhm.
deploy onto these ideas and
Mm.
constantly grow the company and expand it the way that I have, in what a lot of people say a very short amount of time. I've gotten
No, no.
comments about that too.
Yeah.
Who's this guy think he is, like, coming and, like, going from nothing to millions of dollars in sales. And I've been doing car audio for 30 years, and, like, I've, like, the most I've ever done is 250,000 a year or whatever. But I just, like I said, I figured out kind of the blueprint, and I've just kept doing the same thing and tweaking it over time. And the it's like the same input, but just different numbers on the input. Like, I keep
Yeah.
inputting the same work, same consistency, like everything like that. But it's just the numbers changed, and that comes with scale. Like, instead of putting $100 in, you're putting $100,000 in, or whatever. And
Yeah.
it, like, when it comes out the other side, it grows in the same, respectively, kind of the
Yeah.
same. But
Yeah.
anyway.
But one thing you've done, and one of the biggest points of all these interviews is that you have amassed, and I don't want to call it just social media because it's such a different world now of, even like YouTube.
Hmm.
I would say you, as a manufacturer, okay, not as I'll use Wilson Audio Labs because he's
Hmm.
outside the industry, and I don't mean that
Yeah.
derogatory in any way, but as being in the industry, you've pushed this YouTube thing and done
Hmm.
very well. Like, you go look at, say, Alpine, Pioneer, Kenwood, and I know for a fact you're probably 10 to 100 times higher than
Yeah.
them in views. And I believe that our, the generation, which to say it's the 25 to 55-year-old male, a little bit of female, like you're saying, sprinkled in there,
Hmm.
is on this thing called YouTube.
Yeah, this is true. And I've seen something that a lot of companies have. We can. I'll have a schooling lesson really quick. The
Sure.
problem is people. I know a lot of it is because of me. They see like some of them have found my story like or followed me all these years and like, oh, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. It is true. You can do it. I'm nothing crazy special. I have an unwavering work ethic, but I don't have an insanely high IQ or anything that makes me better than the person beside me or whatever.
Mm,
But what people try to do is they're like, I want to go out and start a company. So they go out and they either like save the money up and buy some amps and subs and like car audio stuff and put their brand on it. And they think that that is the hard part. They think that. But the hard part is getting people to trade their hard-earned dollars for this great product that you're so excited about. So they get all this stuff in and they're like everybody's like, "Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll get this. I'll like blah blah blah." And then they get like everything comes in and the only thing that they're met with is crickets. They realize that talk is cheap and so is posting. Like people will
yeah.
say anything, they'll gas you up and make you think like, oh yeah, you're gonna kill it, blah blah blah. So what do they think next? Oh, I need to start advertising. I need to start getting more views from our products so people it'll gain recognition and engagement and trust and people will buy it from me. Oh, let me start some social media pages for what? My business. Okay.
Yeah.
You start a business or you start a page for your business, whatever, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So you start this to what? Tell people about your products. Okay. What do
Yeah.
people in this category see all day
Mhm.
long when they go on social media already? They're already bombarded with ads about everybody else's products that are paying for the ads to be put in front of you. So why is a person going to follow you just to have advertisements shoved down their throat all the time? Why? They're not. So
Yeah.
people do it backwards. They don't realize this and they instead of so my what I did and why it was so successful is because I never when I first started going to these shows and sharing demos and doing all this, I didn't sell anything. So my following started like organically from
Yeah.
people just wanting to follow me because oh, is this guy getting us footage, going to these shows, different demos? Oh, he's a cool
Hmm.
dude, like he's working hard. Like they and
Yeah.
I've shared this story over the years, so they feel like they know me. I'm their brother, or like they look up to me, idolize me, whatever it might be. So why? And to add to that, why would a person want to buy your version of a 5K amp instead of
Yeah.
my version of a 5K amp that's available in 11 different colors? It has all the bells and whistles. It's the same price as yours or less. They've
Yeah.
been following me all this time. Why are they going to buy yours over mine? So this is what most of them don't think about until it's too late, and they're like, "Oh, this is freaking hard." He makes it look so easy, but they're hit with reality of it's not easy and it's very hard. And even for me, it's I make and a lot of people have said this like you've probably created more people starting car audio businesses over the past 10 years than anybody I've ever seen in the history of car audio because you make it look easy. People just see like you I mean, yes, I still share like the bad times too, not as much as obviously the good times because I don't want when I go back and look at my memories, I don't want it to look like doom and
Yeah.
gloom all the time, but I share like when we were down like last well actually I think we were up just a tad but like we were down a few years and I've shared that I'm like look I'm not perfect and we've been restructuring the
Yeah.
company pivoting away from selling other people's brands as much as our own brand and So I share that stuff as well. Like, and obviously the haters like, I told you he's losing money. I told you he's going down. Like they've been saying my ship's sinking for like 10 years. Like it's like the greatest thing ever. Like so I always like I'll get a picture of a boat and I'll put down for sound on the side of it and like say that, oh, look at the ships. It's still sinking 10 years later. Like what's happening?
Yeah. I
But anyway.
actually, I loved your jet one, actually. I thought that one was pretty damn good, to be honest with you. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And, now, with that, what do you think and now and this is not but, well, I'm going for the dirt now. Of all the products and all the things you've done, what's your biggest miss? Do you think, like, you thought that was gonna be a great idea and you swung and you missed? What do
Oh,
you think it is?
Uh, I it for sure was the additional colors of the JP 13.2. It was a
Oh,
massive
yeah?
surfboard amp. We did
Yeah,
100, like it was like we did it as kind of paying a tribute to the old school people that like Class AB, and they wanted
yeah,
something that was unique. And before we even got in the 100, there was by the time they got in, we had already pre-sold like 75 of them. So I'm like, man, this thing's hot. We need to offer them, and well, obviously we can't do more than 100 because then it would lose its coolness or rareness
yeah,
or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, let's offer some different colors from back in the day. All right, let's do our most popular color options: red, purple. What was the other one we did? Uh, Maybe silver. I can't remember, but anyway, so we did the same thing because there was so much hype. They like moved so quickly the first time. I was like, this is a no brainer. We'll do 1 through
yeah.
100 in the different colors, and crickets. Like it just didn't work. And but so that was definitely the biggest miss. The next one would be what was it? Um, it was another one. It was like the little brother to that amplifier. We did like a breast cancer awareness amp, Class
Oh, yeah?
AB, made in Korea, 1 through 100, like with giving however 10% of the proceeds to breast cancer awareness or whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like it was,
Really, eh?
it was just I mean, again, everybody, great idea. I'll buy one. My wife has cancer, or I know somebody that has breast cancer, or whatever. Like, I'll do
Yeah,
it to support and everything. Like, awesome. They come in, like, we probably pre sold three before they showed up. And then after they came in, maybe a few more. And we just were sitting on them forever. And I ended up like selling them for less than I had in them just to get out from up under them.
yeah.
But again, what you don't always hit a home run. And I've learned over the years, like in multiple different ways, but those two are probably the biggest were probably the biggest misses that I had. And I've come to realize that our following in market, it just isn't big on two channel amplifiers, like especially the bigger ones, like when you're getting into
Mhm,
multi-thousand watt amplifiers on two channels. I don't know if it's
mhm.
people just not knowing how to use them properly or what, but it's just not a hot seller for us. So that's why we really double down on just your standard mono blocks, 4 channels. 5 channels do pretty good for us. And even when you get up into the other, like our 7 channel JP77, the
Mhm.
Easy Power 810s, you start getting into really niche type of customers that want to use something like that. So it's just really slow in moving those in comparison to like JP23, like a 2000 watt amp that we sell thousands of. It's just totally different. So, but anyway, it's cool. We just have learned not to order so many of those. It's good to have available for people that want a 10 channel amp or a 7 channel amp or 5 channel,
Mhm.
whatever. Like we have them for the people that do want them, but we just don't order them as heavy anymore for that reason.
It's interesting because a lot of other manufacturers have gone they seem to be doubling down on 5 channel, for example, right now, but 5 channel seems to be a little bit behind because now you need usually 8 channels to do most vehicles, but
The newer
I'm
ones, yeah.
talking yeah, the newer ones, but then you're still going on the monos. That's kind of an interesting take.
Yeah, and everybody, like I said, everybody's companies and followings or customer bases are different. Like when
Yes.
you
Oh
talk
yeah.
to a JL customer versus our customer, they're gonna be two totally different people. Most of the time, wanting totally different things. Like you said, like if it's JL or these other companies that they where you said they're doubling down on the 5 channels and multi
Hmm.
channels or whatever more. That's probably why, because their customer base is more wanting that, where our more base head customer base is not that type of customer. Yes, we still sell a good amount of them, but it's not like our like
Hmm.
4 channels or monoblocks. So
But interesting, you adopted something. Now I've done the home side before, and
hmm
everyone used to really complain about the pigtail for RCA's. So
hmm
instead of having a standard RCA cable, you had the pigtail, and then it went out. I noticed you've adopted that, but not too many. I think Arc did it, I think as well, and maybe a few manufacturers that I'm not sure of. But what made you, I mean, obviously we know the amps got smaller, so that's why you did it. But what
right.
made you take the leap of faith to do that when not many people were doing it? And I think your small multi-channels are actually pretty amazing. To be honest, you get a lot of power, small space, look cool. I don't see a downside.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The only downside I would say is people breaking them or losing the pigtails or stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
But yeah, so we order hundreds of these pigtails, like, to have in stock for people to be able to buy replacements of it for that reason.
Hmm.
But other than that, it was just like you said, just to make the amps more compact and smaller, and that's the way that we gained shrinking the amp down and make the when you have a pigtail coming out of it, it also makes it where you can install a smaller amp in a smaller location,
Yeah.
because you don't have to
Yes.
have an RCA plugged in there. So you're probably saving at least another inch. Like by the time you stick an RCA onto a Tiffany style
Yeah.
jack, like it's gonna stick out another inch at least. So that was the biggest reason there for saving space and ease of install in smaller areas.
But that's the conundrum that one of the questions I got is that a lot of times now it's what fits. That's the
hmm
truth. Like no matter what product you want, and I know there's beautiful fabricators out there and they can probably make it happen. But a
Yeah.
lot of times it's what fits. And then you went to the smaller, let's just say multi-channel, we'll just put that as a category, but
hmm
your biggest seller are the big amps. So you can't say the trend is what fits because I see more of your big amps everywhere.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's really rewarding to hear, and I do too. And I see a lot of people posting it. So when I see other people posting it, like for instance, we went to, what was the show? Oh, Florida State Finals. Just I made
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
yeah, a video walking through, just like a live video, like just showing the Down for Sound products there. And I'm just like, it's so crazy to see. I mean, I'm very grateful for it. It's just amazing to see like how many people is running the Down for Sound amps, and now seeing more of the Down for Sound speakers and subs and everything like that. So um, it's um, it's amazing to see. But we do, so our following is primarily our base head niche, and like
Mhm.
your but we do, so when we moved into offering like the mini max amplifiers, the smaller amplifiers, that
Yeah.
was us like pushing into a little bit of a different market. So it's like adding
Mm,
to our, for
mhm.
lack of better words, income stream. Like, so we're like, we know
Yeah.
there's a market for like motorcycles, ATVs and stuff, like but more so motorcycles are small amplifier application people that need these. So that was us pushing over into that category to where we could capture those people as well. But yeah, of course, our top selling amplifiers are JP23, JP84, JP234, like all of those in that uh say 1,000 watts to 2,500 watt range. Like that's our fastest movers, and then it spreads out on each side from there. But yeah, you go to a car audio or more bass head car audio
Yeah.
show, and you're gonna see our amps everywhere. It's amazing.
But one thing I've noticed, and um, you went to Canada up to Toronto, I believe. Well, a small town outside of Toronto where you went to a car show
Mhm.
with your distributor there.
Yeah.
And, And as I can see, 'cause it's only online, I'm gonna say it's probably about 25 cars, and there was a lot of down for sound amplifiers. But trying to word it in a way that's nice. You took the time to go up there, meet, I'm gonna call it the fans, because it's more
Yeah,
than just consumers, they're fans.
yeah,
And you sign the amplifiers and you talk to them. I don't see too many larger manufacturers doing that. And do you think that might be a key to your, because you're accessible, like even us? Okay, like I reached out to you on, I was driving back for my daughter's soccer game. I said, you know what? I'm going to try. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? Because you're accessible, but I probably couldn't get a hold of, there's nothing against them, but I probably couldn't get a hold of the VP of JL Audio.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's and yeah, you are correct. Like that's definitely a huge key to my success is continually going to these shows year after year after year and traveling. I think I did the math last year. I actually posted it on my Facebook, but I think I was gone away from home last year almost 200 days. So it definitely takes a special woman and family to
Oh,
be able to deal with that and also get behind that and support me and pushing this
yes.
company to what it is. And so I'm very grateful for that, first and foremost, because
Yeah.
she's amazing for that, and so is my daughter. And that's why when I am at home and like I do everything that I can to like make all of her sporting events as I can, and
Yeah.
like just I try to be there as much as possible. And even if I have to take red eye flights back, or
Yeah.
luckily we're getting to a point where we're able to utilize like having our own jet for a lot of these things. So
Yeah.
that is amazing for time saving and like letting us do her like school events or whatever, and then we can just leave after, and like if we want to fly overnight or whatever, it just makes it where we're able to do that. And that's what I realized, that I traded so much of my life trying to make dollars,
Yeah.
and most people will forever, and I still will. Like, there's always
Yeah.
going to be a balance of that, but it's awesome to be able to use those dollars to buy back time and
Yeah.
being there for my daughter or my parents, like, or my wife or family, or even friends. Like, it's like when we're able to pull like all these things together and do all the things instead of just some of the things, because like you use the money that you've earned to
Hmm. Hmm.
get to there. Like, if you earn a bunch of money and you don't use it to buy back time or to be there with your family, like, what are you even doing it for in the first place anyway? Like,
Yeah.
so anyway, that's that I'd still go to all these things. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it does get um very, I'm trying to think of the right word. Like,
Well, it's probably tiring, but it's also you love it too. So it's kind of one of these, right? You know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
a negative, but it takes a toll.
right. Yeah, it's yeah, very tiring, like especially like back to back trips,
Yeah.
or going to one event on, like, say flying to Florida on Friday night to go to a show on Saturday, then flying out Saturday to go to Houston to another show on Sunday, and then leaving there to be back at, like, to have dinner with my family on Sunday night or whatever it is, like just hopping all over the place to try to
Yeah.
be, like you said, in front of these people, because it I know being out there with them and they're seeing me, like I was doing this when didn't even have a company. I was out there with the people, and like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
record like so many other people's builds that like they won't even have anything down for sound in there. And I'm first and foremost like trying to grow car audio as a whole, and I've
Yeah.
always said that. And so like, I've posted these before, and like they'll message me like, dude, I never thought you were gonna actually post my build because I don't run anything down for sound. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, it if everybody liked the same exact thing, it like life would
Yeah.
be boring. Like, everybody be driving
Yeah.
the same car, like
Yeah.
wearing the same clothes, like, or whatever. So it takes people having different taste to make the world go around. So anyway, I try to share car audio as a whole. And do I hope that it will eventually lead them to maybe something down for sound? Of course. Like, but
Yeah.
if they don't, I, I'm fine either way. Like I'm gonna be okay. So
So what you're saying is the world doesn't need more white Teslas. Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah, right. They're
No,
out there for sure.
and to circle back, no, I've said this multiple times on this podcast about um, a car audio wife is very hard to find, and they're very special ladies. Now, I don't know if you've heard my joke,
Mm-mm.
but do you know what the biggest lie in car audio is to your wife?
The cost of something.
Nope. It's 15 more minutes, honey. I'll be
Oh,
home in 15 more minutes.
yeah, I figured it was what guys are telling their wives they paid for something
I
versus what it really
no,
costs.
no.
No, that's a
I
good one too.
I always love that one. Well, for $5 more, we'll give you a receipt of what you told your wife you
Yeah,
paid for it. Oh, I've
yeah,
always loved that one.
for sure. That's a good one.
Oh, it's also it's more the keys are in my hand. I'm leaving right now.
Yeah. No, she's been awesome about that for sure. Like um oh, I see an Amazon truck pulling up right now. Because we recently started getting our products on Amazon, so we're shipping pallets of stuff into Amazon to because some people just want to buy off Amazon, so we're
Yeah.
starting to get our products onto there for the people that do want to do that. Like it'll be on there as well.
Hmm.
But anyway, eventually we'll be shipping containers into there, and we won't have to come through the warehouse. But that's like big big dreams, like down the road a little bit. So, but we'll get there.
Well, but as we said, you have to find new avenues. You have to keep pushing. You have to like. I always joked, and I repped for a lot of years. And a consumer would call me from a certain city
Yeah,
and go, "Hey, I want to buy your product. I'm willing to pay retail." So what that is not product, it's not price, it's the personality of a dealer.
yeah,
And whatever, I've been to a person like it might be an engine builder, you know what? And he turned me off, or a painter, he turned me off. You know what I mean? It happens. And I do think if a consumer wants to buy your product and willing to pay the correct price, not asking you for a discount or anything, why shouldn't we sell them? And some people think I'm wrong for that, but I think when you have someone in the area and they have a good chance, it just means they missed their chance. But watch me now, I'm going to get flamed for that comment. But it's true. I mean, I looked at it this way. I bought a Toyota Tacoma. I went to the guy in town, said, "Hey, I want to buy this one, this color, this. Get me a price." He didn't. I called back, said, "Hey, I want a Toyota Tacoma." And he didn't get it. I was driving through the town 45 minutes away, driving by. "Hey, man, I want a gray this year." Boom. Called me 20 minutes later. I picked it up on the way home. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, it's the same product, the same. I didn't even ask for price.
yeah, yeah. They, I don't know. It's easier for people to spit out an excuse. So many people don't want to do the actual work to
Yeah.
make something happen. And just like you were just talking about with that guy, like he didn't want to take for whatever reason
Yeah.
didn't want to take the 5 minutes to look to find you something and get you sold this product that you already did all the homework on it. Like
Yeah.
that's the easiest sell ever. Like
Yeah.
I know exactly what I want. You don't have to go
Yeah.
like try to sell me or whatever. I already want the truck. Like just give me that. But yeah, I get it. People I don't know, the work ethic these days has dwindled a lot. And that I tell people that as well. Like it's made it so much easier for people like me to win. Like if you just have an okay work ethic, you can definitely beat everybody else. Like because the vast majority of people don't have an okay work ethic at best. Like they have a very subpar one. They only want to do the very minimal. They want to show up late. They want to so and they're wondering why their life's so hard, they're not getting anywhere. I'm like, the people that just do a little bit more than that can like
Yeah.
do way better. And like for people like me that'll push the envelope and like I'm trying to see how far I can push this thing until the wheels fall off of it. That's what I'm trying to see. So for people like me that have that uncanny unwavering work ethic, and because I'm like I said, I'm not the smartest person by any means, but I'd love to find somebody that will outwork me. And people will say it, but I'm always saying, show me the numbers. I don't
Yeah.
care what you're saying, show me the numbers. And I never see any numbers. So that tells me everything that I need to know about the person and their claims that they're making. Data
Hmm.
doesn't lie, people do. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, but you can't run a business by a spreadsheet either, right? And that's what the one thing I think I see from yourself is like we're talking about you're making the high level adapters or the DSP or I mean I don't even know how you're making a DSP under $200. I'm blown away between you and B2 Audio having the DSPs under $200, which I think is fantastic by the way because it gives the people a bridge to get in,
Right.
but it makes it that's what I find interesting. Like you could have not done DSP and given up that whole segment, but you found something that works for you.
Right. And yeah, a lot of people will have I mean, Drew Jones, and he
Yeah,
helped us kind of fine tune the easy 612 and
yeah,
6.8 and make it better. And um he's like, this thing should be costing minimum 6.99. Like,
yes, yeah.
he's
No,
like, you're
no,
selling this
no.
thing
Yeah,
way too cheap. Like,
yeah,
the comparables to this in the market are
yeah,
3 to 5 times as much. Like,
yeah,
you're missing the boat. And I'm like, man, I've always said since day one, I want to offer a great product at a fair price, and that's been my way. Like,
yeah.
could I charge more for it? Sure, but I want a lot of people to be able to access like this great product at a fair price.
Yes,
And I
yeah,
listen to the customers as well, even with all the price raises and stuff that we've had, like with the new administration and the tariffs and all this stuff.
yeah,
uh we I ate as much as I could of it. So like our like and some products, especially when we sell it to our dealers and distributors, we lose on it because like I'm
yeah.
trying to hold out for the bigger picture. But anyway, that's what I've kind
It's
of been
tough.
doing.
I do not, and I mean, I was talking to one manufacturer just telling me it's how it lands too, and he gets hit with a new bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't planning to raise or well, I'm going to eat this, and all of a sudden it landed. He goes, the container just cost me 100 grand more, and he goes,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't have 100 grand. You know, what and you understand that. It just you do, but it's tough and navigating the waters of as you said, the current administration is tough. It is, and even internationally too. I mean, hopefully you get some benefits by being fairly domestic. You know what I mean? And I hope you do, but that's another conversation.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not near as much as the very few positives definitely don't outweigh the crazy tariff negatives.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to have some meetings with some of our suppliers today as well, like on trying to
yeah. This week,
get stuff out as fast
yeah,
as possible before the another change happens. Like,
yeah,
because no matter how you slice it, like it's gonna be the same thing that happened at the first of the year is gonna be the same thing that happened again. People are just gonna be like, "Don't ship my stuff, hold
yeah,
it," and it'll just lock up trade again, and people will just sit on it. But the problem is, people know that they're a lot of the times their biggest revenue times is the Christmas holiday. So like,
yeah,
but do you do you say okay, send it, and then you get hit with 155% tariff on
yeah,
this good, and you sell it for a little bit more and maybe make a couple of percent after you jack the price up through the roof, like, or
yeah.
do you get it in and you do that and nobody buys it and you're stuck with it. So welcome to business.
Oh, and those are, I think, like you said, you try and be positive, you try and spread, growing and stuff. But I'm sure you get kicked in the stomach a few times with some of these things. Like even right now, business are talking about, Black Friday in the U.S. is fairly popular,
Yeah.
and they're talking about right now having shortages or not even having much of a Black Friday this year. And that might be a very weird world for a lot of people who have been conditioned to wait for Black Friday. That there might not be much of one because people need that product to make it through the last quarter.
Right. And luckily, I mean, we just got a container yesterday. I think we have 7. Probably before the holidays, we'll probably receive 10 to 12 containers. So, and again, like, this is me paying attention to past trends, and like
Yeah,
people will most from what I've seen over the years of selling all these other brands is they'll right now they'll be like, "Oh crap, we're gonna run out of product. We need to order more for the holidays." Bro, it's October. How do you think you're gonna have product here before the holidays? It takes at best 2 months to produce this stuff, and then another month
Yeah.
ish to get it over here.
Yes.
How does that make sense? But
Yeah.
so I try to learn from that. So I placed all these orders like I said, most of them are on the water right now. So I placed all the orders 3 to 4 months ago for the Christmas holidays. Like that's
Hmm.
how my mind works, and that's what I've learned from other people in business and them doing business. I guess their way is not the correct way in my opinion, but that's their way, and that's how I learned from it. So, but again, it takes a lot of capital and you being willing to tie that up for a
Yeah.
long time, and being okay with that. And again, like I still in comparison live like way below my means, and like I'll do without stuff. And I know people see the glitz and the glam of us like doing cool stuff or whatever, but all this stuff is factored in, and I always make sure the business and products and coming in as everything is covered first. Like, so this other stuff is just I don't I don't know the right word. It's not it's just a fraction of
Yeah.
like I set aside like a certain amount, like okay, we're okay with doing like spending X amount or whatever on whether it's like our distributor retreat we took all of our distributors on, or doing something for the dealers or whatever it might
Hmm.
be. um, all this stuff is factored in, so we are able to like continue moving the business forward with
Yeah.
making sure we have products to sell, because um, it's hard to make money if you don't have anything to sell, which it seems elementary, but so many business owners, I don't think. I mean, they've been in business way longer than I have, and they keep doing the same thing. I'm like, how? Like, how
But
are you
but
still
that's
doing this all these years later?
no,
Like,
no, and I don't mean that's what you hit the nail on the head there, because that's what I don't understand is that if I called place you the new way of doing business
yeah,
and there's still the old way of doing business. Like I don't remember like Panasonic used to run out of product every time by the third quarter, and they said we hit our number, we're happy. Who cares? And you're like, there's so much meat on the plate, right? But you are doing things very different than the people who've been doing the same thing for 20 years, and that's actually the whole reason why I reached out is that you seem to be doing it different. I don't know if it's wrong or right. Okay, I don't know what, like you said,
I
their
don't know
numbers
either.
and stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. But you're doing something that's different, and I think that's the big significance of kind of this whole conversation.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, that's how I've learned over the years of selling other people's stuff is like I think wisdom, like ultimate wisdom is learning from other people's mistakes.
Yeah,
100%, because
yeah,
most people learn from their own mistakes, and it's okay to learn from your own mistakes, but I want to learn the majority from other people's mistakes, because and that's why I like having if you can, like having a mentor or somebody that you can lean on
mhm,
for like getting started in business, whatever, like it's important because they can save you a ton, like and kind of slingshot you forward, like Jace Fennell at Liberty Base. Like I've kind of taken him under my wing, if you will, like paying it forward to him, like
yeah,
sharing all my knowledge from all that I've gained from all these years, and he's doing an excellent job of like he went from becoming a dealer for Down4Sound and starting his like Liberty Base website like just over a year ago to um he'll break $1 million in sales this year. That's incredible, but it's because he listens and he does what I've told, like, I'm like, "Dude, I have the blueprint. I've already done all of this, and I know exactly what to do and how to help you scale this thing out." So, as long as you'll listen and put in the work, you will reap the rewards. And so, anyway, the proof is in the pudding. Like, he's killing it, and I'm super proud of him, and it's a really rewarding, and fulfilling feeling when somebody asks you for your advice and they actually do it and they apply it and they win. Man, it's
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm winning too, and I mean, he sells obviously other people's brands and stuff, but
Yeah.
the majority of it, I'd be willing to say his well, he was with us last weekend, and I took him to Six Flags with us, um, but yeah, I mean, that's just one of the things. Like, no other companies that I know of are doing this. They're not taking you like anywhere, or they're not picking you up in their private jet and taking you to Mexico for a week, like to hang out to show you
Yeah.
appreciation. Who's doing that? I don't know.
No. No,
Nobody.
that's true.
I've never heard of anybody doing that. So that's why I'm again trying to do that different. Um, but I think he over 60% of his sales are down for sound stuff. So
Nice.
he's doing excellent with it. So super proud
Well,
of
they
him.
say if you get 25% of a person's business, it's a good relationship. If you get 50, it's more of a personal. And if you've gone to 60, that means you guys are you're close. You're close,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he stayed at our house last weekend. I mean, we have spare bedrooms, obviously, so he stayed with us. We took him to Six Flags and just good times and bonding. And uh, he's a great dude as well. Like you obviously want to hang out with people that you vibe with and laugh with and have a great time with and everything like that. And uh, get the negativity out of your life. So that can bring you
No,
down as well.
it's true.
But yeah,
Well, it's who you
so
surround
okay.
yourself with, right?
Oh yeah, I
Now,
mean,
my
there's
one
that saying,
last
the top, you're more than likely going to become the same as your top 5 people that you hang out with. So who are those people?
it's tough though, because sometimes you like your buds.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I've had to. I mean, and even sometimes they're family, like, and you realize that they aren't in your
Yeah,
best interest. That's some hard ones,
yeah.
but yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you an easy question. What is your favorite demo track for showing off subs, hair tricks, whatever? What's your favorite demo track?
Oh, in my vehicle, it's probably something about Young Dolph. Because I mean, I did the build themed around him. He was big on the camo raps and everything when he was alive. But a lot of his songs, like I don't have one in particular, but I have like 10 different ones on this track. And obviously I had them edited to play my vehicle's favorite frequencies of like 26 and 32 to 36 hertz or whatever, so it goes between those frequencies and it is perfect. So anyway, those are the ones that I listen to the most. It used to be like back in the day, like Mikasa Sukasa by
Yeah.
I can't remember which rapper it was, but that was a popular one people knew me for.
Yeah.
um yeah, so that's some of the ones off the top of my head, that I play that shows.
All right. As we head into the third quarter of 2025, what advice would you give if I said, "Hey, you know what? I think I want to get into this. I want to start a business." Now, I'm going to say car audio. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who's sitting at home watching this right now?
So if you're wanting to get started in a business, again, it depends on like what you're wanting to do. I guess I could spend this on like I have a lot of the younger generation watching me, and a lot of them
Yeah.
ask me like, "Do you think I should go to college, or what's your opinion on college?" And I'm like, "Man, I went to college. I don't what top I finished top 3 in my class, and I got out and couldn't find a job anywhere. The market was saturated. I spent a ton of money, and I just went like I thought I wanted to be an like auto collision repair specialist, and because I was already working at a car auto body shop
Yeah.
before I went to college for that. Um, anyway, so I'm like, all I got was 30 something thousand dollars in debt, like, and no job, like, to be able to try to start paying it off when I got out. So, depending on what a person is wanting to do, like, if I think if anybody's wanting to, and it takes most people don't have any business being in business or running a business. They have no idea how hard it is. Um, but so I tell people,
Yeah.
like, if you're looking like me, if I had it all to do over again, I would. I was already working at an auto body shop before I went to college, and before I left to go, they're like the body man and the paint guy there. They're like, man, give us both like $2,000 and we'll teach you everything there is to know about like auto body repair and refinishing. I'm like, man, you're trying to rip me off. You're like, you don't blah, blah, blah. But because I thought like, I, like so many people, was brainwashed into thinking you have to go to college to get
Yeah,
out and be successful. And
yeah,
man, knowing what I know now, they would have saved me a ton of money because like I didn't learn hardly anything that I didn't already see them doing every day. And um but so that's what I tell people, like if you're wanting to do something more like say blue collar or whatever, you want to be a landscaper, a plumber,
yeah.
a auto body man, like electrician, whatever. Most of these things, I'm like, go to your local, let's say you want to be a plumber, go to your local plumber shop and say, hey, like I really want to get into this, I've like looked into it,
Mhm.
I will, like, can I be an apprentice for you for free for
Yes, yes.
6 months? I
Yep,
will work under you, I'll be on
yes,
time, I'll, like, I just want you to teach me, I'll be your apprentice, I'll be your right hand man for free. And
yeah,
while you're living at home with your parents, you don't have any really expenses over your head, or shouldn't, or very minimal,
yeah,
and do that. And then at the end of the 6 months, say, hey, you've taught me so much. I really appreciate that. I would love to come to work for you. Like like you see like how much stuff I've learned, how much I know, how much I'm doing for you.
mhm,
They're already going to feel in debt to you to bring
yes,
you on board because they're
yep,
like, dude, this guy worked for free for me for 6 months and he's doing a great job. He's punctual. He's a hard worker. Of course we'll hire you. But if they don't, you just go to the person down the street that has a
yeah,
plumber shop and be like, hey, I work for JP's plumbing, or like
yep,
as an apprentice, like I'm looking for a job, like I know this, I know how to do all this stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll hire you. And you know how much debt you have over your head?
yeah,
Zero,
yeah,
versus me having over $30,000 in debt. Like, and you know, every 99% of what I would know when I got out of college. So, that's what I tell people, like the younger generation of like coming up through that, depending on what you want to do. But if you think that you want to be a business owner or start a
yeah,
business, there's a couple of different ways of doing it. One of them is like people, the first problem you're going to run into is, how do I get the money to start this business? There's a
yeah,
couple of different ways of doing that. Again, like I told you in the beginning of this podcast, I bootstrapped it myself. I worked at a full-time job, I saved the money, and I started taking that money to invest in the products and started flipping it over.
yeah,
But other people that might not want to do that, they might want to go get a business loan or have some sort of outside financing. There's
yeah,
private equity firms and stuff like that that you could pitch your idea to, but you need to make sure, if you're going to be doing that, whether it's a bank or a private equity firm, whatever, that your plan is solid. Because if they're not, like if it's not, why is this person that you're trying to get money from going to give it to you? You have to be able to sell them
yeah,
as good as possible. So your plan needs to be as solid as possible. So that's going to be the first thing that you would need to do, is figure out how you're going to fund it, and then just know that that part is probably going to be the easiest part. And just like we talked about before, trying to get people to actually purchase your product versus somebody else that's probably already offering the same product is the next hard part. So that's how you have to figure out how you're going to set yourself apart. Say you're wanting to start a car audio company and you wanted people to buy your amps versus Down4Sound amps. How do you plan on getting people to do that?
yeah,
So that would be my 2 cents on that. Or if it's not core audio, whatever, like why are they going to buy your cupcakes versus so and so's cupcakes down the road? Like that's already been established for 20
yeah,
years and like they have the market share. Like what's going to set you apart? So do your homework and make sure your plan is as solid as possible, and uh, do your best. But just know that right when you think you're doing your best, you're gonna get
yeah,
punched in the
level.
mouth a
Yeah,
bunch of times by
yeah.
business.
Now,
Like Mike Tyson, he said, "Everybody's got a great plan until they get punched in the mouth."
But that's the one thing too, though, is are you buying yourself a job or are you buying yourself a business? And I think that's the tough part in the whole car audio realm right now is that, like you said, is a job or a business? And I think there's a lot of people who just buy themselves a job. And I
Very
think
good.
that's also something you have to ask yourself as well is what are you trying to do? And it's funny you said about free apprenticing. That was car audio. Okay, like I'm 50. I think I'm
Mhm.
older than you. And I did that for the first year. Hey,
Hmm.
man, can I hang out? Can I hold the MDF? Can I get coffee for you? Hey, can I go pick up lunch? Hey, what are
Yep.
you doing? Oh, you're doing an alarm? Hey, can I? What are you doing? What are you doing? And like you
Right.
said, you get that rep and you get used to working around people.
Yep.
Yeah. You get
It's
used
a
to working
lot
around
too.
that environment.
Yeah. I think everybody should wait tables for at least 6 months of their life too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a very humbling experience, and it teaches you a lot of about people, like dealing with people.
Hmm.
But it also will raise your respect a lot, and empathy towards people that are waiting tables. Anyway, I'm not trying to hijack your conversation that you were just or
No,
your
no,
what
no,
you were
no,
going there, but it
no.
just made me think of that.
No, honestly, but that's like I joke about it, that's why I call it behind the dashboard. I want to dig
Yep.
deeper. I don't want to have, I don't want to sit here and say, rah, rah, woo, woo, look what you've done. I think it's very important. How do you know where you're going when you don't know where you came from? And I think that's really important in today's world. And you got to step out and go for it. And I think that's kind of the whole conversation you've given us. Just go for it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've done, and the other thing in business is it's not nothing's guaranteed. So that
Yeah.
should that can be scary as well. But as long as you put something aside, like I said, for like the rainy days, always have something there for like the slow time. So because I've seen that happen a lot as well for people that they um constantly match the spending with their income, and like it's great while it's great, but as soon as you
Yeah.
have a downturn and you're like, oh crap, I can't make these $80,000 in payments this month that I thought I would be able to, like, and that adds up quick. And you see people fire
Yeah.
selling their Lambos or yachts
Yeah.
or planes or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, you and that's what happens. But anyway, again, I try to learn so much from other people's mistakes. But um, yeah, for business, it's um, also like really quick for people to. It sounds kind of probably cliche, but uh, if you can do something that saying if you can do something you love, you don't have to work a day in your life. Like
Yeah.
finding a lot of times people want to get into something, they're like, oh, I can make a lot of money doing this, but do you really like cutting grass or do you really like detailing vehicles or do you really like car audio or do
Yeah.
you like and not just like it, like you should be loving it and
Loving it.
everything
Yeah.
to do with it, because once you find out that the money's not as great as you thought it was going to be or it's hard or whatever, you're just going to quit. Like
Yeah.
it's just proven. So anyway, that's an important thing as well.
No, you know what? And I think that's a great place to end it there. And I want to say thank you. And I actually really enjoy your insight. And I really enjoyed this conversation a lot.
Same, my pleasure, thank you for having me on.